Most of the food in the grocery stores is not real, especially if it's on the shelves. Just avoid it. I'm Rosemary Hapsam. I'm back again to let you know that you can take full control of your life by what you choose to put at the end of your fork. And look, I'm not going to even pretend. It's getting harder and harder to find real food in most of the grocery chains out there in the United States. And what a shame that is, because there are certain areas where real food is in abundance. And if we consider all of the things that go against people's health, especially Black Americans' health, then we have to really consider what can you eat that is not going to cost so much that it's unaffordable. So let's look at the things that we need to actually get rid of and just discontinue them from our diet. And one of the most popular things is ramen. I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. But if you want to hear the truth, I'm going to tell you the truth. Ramen and ramen noodles and other noodles types that are like that is not real food. It is GMO, it is engineered in a lab, and it is completely full of chemicals that is made to keep you a slave to your taste buds. It's not real. It's going to increase your cholesterol. It's going to increase your waist size. So your weight is going to go up. And it's going to increase your blood pressure because of all of the sodium that it contains. This is not real food. And that's so unfortunate because so many people would benefit from being able to have affordable, real food. Let's look at what we can eat, because there are some really good steals that you can find at Dollar Tree, for example, if you're at the low end of the socioeconomic levels. Look, let's be real. And the fact is that not everybody can afford to eat healthy food. But then it's also a fact that given the choice, most people would choose fast food and other low nutrient, what I call garbage food, that does nothing for you except to give you metabolic diseases like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and overweight and obesity. These are issues that we need to look at and to make sure that we're giving ourselves a fighting chance to prevent chronic illnesses that are all based on lifestyle. So whether it's your diet, your sleep, your stress management, the lack of exercise, even just staying hydrated is something that is a healthy habit to have to counteract all of the fake food that's out there that's causing metabolic diseases. So unfortunately, for people who are struggling to be able to afford shelter and food, they have to make some hard choices. But as you can see, there are some choices that people make that are not healthy or not as healthy as they could be, even given their tight budgets. Now, when we look at simple things like fresh fruits and vegetables, there are ways that you can make it so that you can have fresh fruits and vegetables to supplement what you're eating, so that even if you have to eat ramen, then at least you can have some fresh fruit or frozen fruit and frozen vegetables to counteract, or at least to try to counteract some of the bad effects of poor, low nutrient foods like ramen and other noodles. This particular noodle brand, Buldak noodles, is actually being banned. It's been banned in Denmark. We'll see what happens in the United States, but it very clearly says on the package that it's a cancer risk and that it also could have some issues with reproductive health. So we're trying to render everybody sterile and make them have a higher cancer risk by eating noodles. This is insanity. And we need to look at what we're actually putting in our bodies. Now, I'm sure that everybody's talking about SNAP benefits and how making America healthy again, the push from RFK Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr. It is amazing to see that so much of SNAP benefits went to garbage junk food. Now, I know that some people will say that's because people who are at the lower end of the socioeconomic scale want to be able to eat food and have treats. I understand that. I do. But at the same time, it shouldn't mean that that's the majority of the types of foods that you bring into your home. it's and then the other side of it is healthy food is not supposed to cost as much as it does. Because especially my pet peeve is organic food. If something is organic, why on earth are we paying more for it than something that is commercially grown and cultivated? Can anybody answer that? Oh, they might say, oh, it's because we don't use the same kind of pesticides and herbicides, so therefore we have to make sure that we have enough. I'm sorry, that is so not true, because you can still sell what you grow and harvest without pesticides and without GMO in order to provide a healthy alternative. And it should not cost more than the over-processed commercial grade fruits and vegetables. That's my opinion. I'd like to know if anybody can tell me why that's not the case, and why people are still struggling with being able to feed themselves and their families with nutritious food that is at a reasonable price. That's something that MAGA needs to look at, and MAHA needs to look at as well. If we're going to be making America healthy again, we have to look at healthy alternatives. And I know that RFK Jr. is easing into it and is going ahead and making motions to make food healthier by getting rid of certain chemical dyes in foods, and also getting rid of the ability to spend on food benefits that go directly to junk food. So I commend him on that, but we still need to look at, why is organic food so much more expensive when it doesn't need to be? These are just some of the observations. We need to make sure that we are staying on track. If you want to eat junk food, make it a once in a while. It's about the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, eat healthfully. 20% of the time, okay, you can have a little dabble into something that is a guilty pleasure when it comes to food, but we need to maintain a healthy body, a healthy mind, and a healthy spirit in order to stay awake and to be aware of what's going on in the world. When they control your food and your ability to access food by giving you fake food, that's going to affect how your body responds to stress and how it responds to even being empathetic and being able to have critical thinking abilities. These are things that we need to look at. What do you think? What do you think about the fact that Buldak noodles has now been labeled as a cancer risk as well as a reproductive risk as well? Comment it below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. To your good health. Bye.